Once upon a time, in a kingdom not so far from the inside of your own head, there lived a king, King Reginald the Rotund. A wealthy, well-fed, well-meaning monarch with an impressive collection of robes and a surprisingly tender heart. He means well, truly. But he struggled with something many of us do. He liked feeling good, all the time, especially with cake.
Each night,
He threw a royal party, a feast for the ages. Goblets clinked, cheese wheels rolled, and desserts caught fire, sometimes on purpose. And every morning, King Reginald would collapse into his royal bed, silk pajamas rustling, snoring before his head even hit the embroidered pillow. Oh, and he always left the window open. For fresh air, he said, but also perhaps for fate. Below in the royal kitchen, Chef Grumbletum worked overtime, doing what he did best, barely enough.
Custard wasted, duck flambe untouched. Roast peacock wearing a tiny crown, flaming ridiculous. Untouched, uneaten, and straight to the trash. Humph, to the buckets with it all. The garbage buckets.
Out the window it went. Mountains of leftovers, dreams gone soggy, ambition glazed in gravy. Yes, that's right. Chef Grumbletum, who worked overtime, was exhausted. He didn't have time to clean. Because he knew the king wanted more food, more parties, more people. And when the king wanted more, everyone else simply had to keep up. Night after night, the cycle repeated. Bigger parties, more guests, louder music, fancier dishes, more leftovers, more slop, and more garbage. And every night, the pigs returned, rooting, snorting, grunting. Each night, their numbers grew, their sounds worsened, their presence more invasive. The garbage reeked worse and worse. And of course, pigs have to relieve themselves, which added new layers of olfactory horror to the castle grounds. But the pigs didn't mind the smell, as long as there was something to eat. And there was always something to eat. It's important to know something about the kingdom's neighbors. You see, back in those days, and in this particular story, there were no fences, no barbed wire, no electrified doodads or polite signs. Just open land and shepherds who roamed with their animals. Cows, goats, chickens, and pigs. Free to wander, to sniff, to stumble into places they didn't belong, especially if those places smelled like gravy and burned custard. Each night, King Reginald lay in bed, window open as always, eyes twitching, struggling to sleep through the snorting chorus below.
Oh, whose pigs are these? Night after night, their grunting echoes beneath my chamber. Am I, a sovereign king, to be ruled by pigs? By pigs! I cannot sleep. I cannot think. My royal mind is undone by oinking. Guards, advisors, someone, tell me, must I declare war on swine? Or hire them as court musicians, for they perform more faithfully than my own minstrels.
By the 10th night, his irritation boiled over. Sleep-deprived and cranky, His Majesty could bear no more. He summoned his royal advisors, one in particular, Lord Sneedwick, the wealthiest man in the kingdom, and in the king's mind, therefore, probably the smartest.
Sneedwick, you're rich. You're clever. Fix this problem. This problem of these pigs.
Of course, Your Majesty. If there's a solution to be bought, I mean found, I shall find it.
And with that, Lord Sneedwick bowed and left the castle. For 2 days, he didn't return. In the meantime, the parties continued. The food piles grew taller. The stench became more unbearable. And the pigs, they multiplied. Little ones, dozens of them. Piglets, squealing, darting between the larger hogs, wallowing in royal gravy and years of negligence. No one dared tell the king who the pigs belonged to. Everyone was too afraid. And anyway, by now, the pigs were more legend than livestock. Then, on the morning of the third day, Sneedwick returned, flanked by the full council of royal advisors, each with a scroll or blueprint or gadget in hand. They had a plan. A bold, expensive, questionably practical solution, and they were ready to pitch it to the king.
Your Majesty, I present the Feast Forward Funnel, a state-of-the-art catapult system that launches any and all leftover foods directly over the castle walls and into the ocean. No pigs, no stink, just splash. Haha.
The ocean? Isn't that where the fish live? What sort of monster catapults garbage into a perfectly innocent fish neighborhood? I like fish. I love fish. I dine with them. I confide in them. I have pet fish in the royal pond in my garden, and I have 2 fish tanks by my bed. Each fish has a name and a favorite poem.
Our engineers have tested this method thoroughly on one small village and a lake. Not all the fish died.
You've wasted ink, parchment, and my patience. Next!
Alternatively, Your Majesty, we could build a giant mirrored dome over the castle. The pigs will see their reflections, believe they are surrounded, and flee in fear of 1,000 pig rivals. Psychological warfare. It's the future.
Marvelous. We'll go bankrupt teaching pigs vanity. Next!
Or, we issue each pig a tiny set of golden slippers. Impossible to walk in. They'll trip, they'll tumble. They'll turn tail and flee back to the woods in shame and sore hooves. No more nighttime rooting, just blisters and ballet.
Charming. Shall we throw in tiaras and violins while we're at it? Next!
And then Lord Sneedwick, swollen with self-importance, declared he alone carried the kingdom's salvation.
Step aside for real wisdom. Enough of your uneducated lack of experience ideas. Kindly roll up your modest scrolls, junior advisors. Your Majesty, I propose we simply eliminate the pigs. Permanently. Send in the guards, archers, swords, dogs, whatever it takes, okay?
The king pondered the idea. He wasn't a fan of killing, not really. He once released a spider from his tub in a silk napkin. But he was tired, exhausted, and another party was already being set up.
And so they did.
That very evening, the king's men marched into the fields with torches and spears. The sties were torn down, the troughs overturned, and by morning, not a single pig remained in the village. For a while, everything seemed normal again. The fields were quiet. The air smelled of hay instead of hogs. People whispered that the king had restored order, that the balance was safe once more. But the silence was heavy, and beneath it, something restless stirred. The parties resumed, the feasts flowed, the leftovers flew, the windows stayed open, and the garbage kept piling up, soggy, sticky, and ever-expanding. Trays atop trays, gravy over croutons over custard, layered like geological sediment from a time that refused to stop feasting. No end in sight, no plan in place, just the glorious, gooey mountain of garbage and denial. And of course, no snorting, no grunting, no pigs, no rude awakenings.
Peace at last.
Until
a new neighbor moved in. Farmer Thistle, quiet man, carried a flute, loved his pigs. He claimed they were different, refined, well-mannered. He said they only ate organic garbage and responded to poetry. And the cycle began again.